Please do.
Yes. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the product expo jointly hosted by Continual Engine and Samarthanam. It's indeed a pleasure to be part of such a webinar. For me, especially, my name is Vikas. Let me introduce that first. My name is Vikas Kulkarni. I'm from the HR department here in Samarthanam. Along with me, I have Mr. Mahantesh GK, our beloved founder, managing trustee. Sir, would you like to say hi?
Hi, everybody. Good morning.
Good morning, Mahantesh. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, and I have also along with me Mr. Victor. He introduced himself already to the audience just a few minutes back. So this webinar was being planned from one month, 1.5 months now. So Mahantesh sir told me that there is a webinar which Sriram sir has planned to organize, and I have been in constant touch with Dr. Sriram and Deepika for these to ensure we have maximum participants, and we have around 60 plus registrations for this webinar today. The interesting part, according to me, is the session is all about accessibility, and we know how important role accessibility plays. Especially nowadays, it is being taken more seriously than ever, right? We have accessible buildings and we have tools and technology which are being built for making things accessible to people and making it more comfortable in understanding the information, right? I welcome all the participants again. And I request Mahantesh sir to speak a few words and welcome the participants, and also speak about Samarthanam and how Samarthanam also promotes accessibility and assistive technology. Sir.
Yes. Good morning, everybody. Friends from Continual Engine, Samarthanam, and all the participants from India and few from abroad also, because I got few calls from different countries. So hearty welcome to this joint webinar. So I would like to thank Continual Engine, my friend Sriram, for choosing Samarthanam to jointly organize this. Sriram and I go long back. We have been friends for the last 20 plus years, from the days of his IIM and Infosys days. So I'm very happy that Sriram is part of Continual Engine and supporting them in developing assistive products. So I think it's a great initiative of Continual Engine for making products accessible, low cost, and making life of visually impaired comfortable, enhance their quality of life, reading quickly, converting the materials in a very quick time, using artificial intelligence, machine learning, and many other devices, tools which are available for common people. You are bringing them for my community. So I'm extremely happy with that. Samarthanam always believes in technology, because we believe technology is the biggest enabler. If it is made accessible, it doesn't discriminate. So I congratulate again Continual Engine. Samarthanam in the last 23 years is primarily working on a few major initiatives: education from primary to postgraduate, etc., skilling, preparing visually impaired mostly and other disabled and underprivileged to become employable, that is skilling, sports and arts, performing arts, dance, music, cricket for the blind. Cricket for the blind, we run Indian Cricket Board is managed by Samarthanam Trust. So we founded Cricket Association for the Blind in India to manage cricket for the blind exclusively. Currently, I'm also the president of World Blind Cricket and Indian Cricket Association. In recognition of our services, many awards have come, including our ex-captain got Padma Shri, few of our cricketers got national awards. Samarthanam is bestowed with many awards. Awards makes us more responsible. Awards connects us. And technology has been our biggest initiative right from the beginning. In every vertical, every program, every project, every activity, we ensure technology is put to use to the greatest extent to enhance our speed, efficiency, and effective delivery. So we also run programs for women rehabilitation, short stay homes, environment, collecting, segregating, and disposing dry waste. And if I leave something, Victor will talk about it during his speech. So I don't want to hold you guys between the amazing products that Continual Engine has. So I would like to extend entire team of, I would like to extend warm welcome to entire team of Samarthanam and Continual Engine, Shriram, Moshni, Deepika, and many others. Any particular name, Vikas, you want me to mention?
Kumar
Kumarji, and everyone who has worked for it.
Yeah.
Siddharth, and most importantly, all the participants who have taken time out early morning of Saturday, because Saturday is a rest day for most of the people. I'm sure some of them will be still sleeping, but you guys have realized the importance of technology. You want to explore the product expo of this joint initiative, joint webinar. So I'm sure you all will have a very good webinar. So I wish the webinar a fruitful one, productive one, so that my community, visually impaired people, take maximum advantage of this and continue to enjoy the benefit of technology. So with this, I conclude by welcoming everyone for this fantastic webinar. Good luck.
Thank you so much, Mantesh sir. That was very short and crisply told about Samarthanam as well as accessibility and what Samarthanam is doing towards different programs and projects which we have. So I now take an opportunity to request Victor sir to speak a few words on accessibility, because Victor sir also has been researching and has been part of our accessibility programs or initiatives. So Victor sir, over to you.
Thank you very much to Continual Engine for partnering with us to organize this webinar. Technology in general and assistive technology in particular plays an important role in the lives of persons with disabilities, blind and partially sighted in particular. It has significantly contributed in creating the level playing field with their counterparts who do not have disabilities. It has contributed in enhancing functional abilities, communication and life skills, quality of life and other things. It has created ample education and employment opportunities for persons with disabilities. It has contributed in helping them to cope with their impairment and perform better and at par with people without disabilities. So there are so many products. Technology is very good. Technology plays an important role, but if it is not made accessible to persons with disabilities, there is no use of technology in the lives of people with disabilities. There plays the assistive technology an important role. Like there are products like 3D printers, level readers, color identification devices, and so on and so forth. So nowadays information technology and communication and information technology enabled services are very important to people with disabilities to perform better and compete in the larger labor market. That's why the assistive technology plays an important role. So Samarthanam is extensively applying assistive technology in all its programs and initiatives to provide better opportunities for persons with disabilities. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Victor sir. Yeah, so you heard from Mantesh sir and Victor sir. So before we begin presentation, I would also take this opportunity to speak about our organization, which is Samarthanam. So we are around 450 employees, staff, where around 28% we have persons with disabilities who are part of the staff here in Samarthanam. And we also encourage women staff, where we have around 35% of women staff working with us. So we ensure that that balance, that balance of gender, or giving opportunity to disabled people in our organization is a prime focus, because Mantesh sir always keeps telling, right? So it is important that we give them opportunity and they become the taxpayers of the nation, right? So on that note, so we have the staff of 450, and so we have around 13 branches pan India. So in Karnataka we have 5 offices, Bangalore being the headquarters. So we have offices in Dharwad, Bellary, Gadag, and Belgaum. And in other places we have offices in Mumbai, Pune, Chennai, Kochi. We have offices in Hyderabad, Guntur, Anantapur, right? And Delhi. So these are the 13 offices we are spread across. Not only India, we have reached US, UK as well, where we have in US we have offices, we have supporters, we have well-wishers of Samarthanam who are working tirelessly for the upliftment of our organization and well-being of our organization growth. Yeah, so we have a vision of touching million lives by 2030. That is the vision on which we are progressing further. And I always say ours is a progressive organization. Like, yes, and we had a very important program or event which happened a day before, and we had a launch of a very good book, a very important one, which is a must read, I feel. It's a launch of autobiography of Mantesh sir. It is called Eye Opener. So that book is will be available in Amazon and all the leading online portals. So it's a good read. It talks about the journey of our beloved founder managing trustee, from how the inception of Samarthanam and what all the struggles that took place. And we are now 23-year-old organization since 1997, how we have had a journey to come here and stand now at this position. So I request everyone to go to Amazon and buy this must-read book, the autobiography of Mr. Mantesh GK, founder managing trustee. It's an interesting read. There are a lot of interesting stories around his childhood and development of inception of Samarthanam and the earlier days, right, sir? So about cricket, how the blind cricket started and how now where it stands. You all know that blind cricket now has some popularity, prominence now, but how earlier days were tough to establish that format of cricket. Yes, right, sir. So that struggle, it's an interesting, very unique story. I feel one should read. So with that note, I hand over it to the Continual Engine team of Siddharth, Deepika, and Sriram sir to take this session forward and proceed with the agenda what we have planned. We have taken some time, I agree, but yes, we have a lot of things to discuss. Over to you, Dr. Sriram and Deepika, sir. Deepika, sorry.
Thank you, Mr. Vikas, Mr. Mahantesh, and Mr. Victor for the brief introduction on Samarthanam's initiatives. And also thank you for giving C the opportunity to co-host this expo. I now quickly hand over it to Continual Engine CEO, Mausmi Kapoor, to introduce us and take it forward. Mausmi?
Thanks, Deepika. First of all, I would like to thank the team of Samarthanam to give us the opportunity to co-host this product expo. Thank you, Mahantesh and Victor, for giving a great introduction to Continual Engine and also telling us about how technology can play a role in accessibility and leveling the field for people with disabilities. Thank you, Vikas and Deepika, for coordinating and pulling this all together. And last but not the least, thanks to all the participants for spending their valuable Saturday early morning time to come together with us to go through this product expo. And I know that a few of you have joined from US and it's late night there. So thanks again for joining. I myself am in US and it's around 12 in the night. So I understand. So again, thank you for your valuable time. And now I will start sharing my screen and I'll give you a brief introduction of Continual Engine. After I give an introduction of Continual Engine and its journey, I will hand it over to Rajat, who is the product owner in Continual Engine, and he will take you through one of our flagship products, which is the Vision range of products. And then it will be off to Siddharth, who will showcase our PrEP, which is a PDF remediation product. And then we'll open the floor for question and answers. So without much ado, I'm going to start the introduction on Continual Engine. So Continual Engine, who are we? We are a technology startup. We've been building products for the global market. We are leveraging AI and platform-driven workflow automation to make accessibility and document processing simpler, faster, and cheaper. So it was founded by me towards the end of year 2017. Regarding myself, I'm a technologist. I'm an electrical engineer with a minor degree in computer science. I did my bachelor's from IIT Delhi and then went on to do master's in US from University of Minnesota in Minneapolis. And I have a couple of decades of experience working with large corporates as well as startups in building products ground up and scaling it up. So building products using technology is my passion. And while building these products, we partnered with some other people who are passionate in the field of education. And we started exploring as to how we can use technology to make learning processes fast, cheaper and more efficient. And while exploring the different avenues in education, we zeroed in on accessibility. We felt that accessibility is an area where technology can be used to make assistive technologies better, cheaper, and also it was for a very good cause. So we focused our attention on accessibility technologies to make images and documents accessible in a simpler, faster, and cheaper way. So we have an engineering and product team of around 30 people. We are headquartered in Dallas, Texas, and our tech team is in Bangalore. We have an advisory board which comprises of global CEOs and CXOs. So since our inception in 2017, we have built a suite of AI-enabled accessibility products. The key ones being our Vision series of products and PrEP. And our Vision series consists of Chem Vision, Math Vision, Table Vision, and our PDF Remediation Platform is called PrEP. So what is our Vision series of products? So as you know, accessibility again has various different flavors. So our Vision range of products focuses on image accessibility, which is to make images accessible. How do we make images accessible? One way of making images accessible is to write alternate text for images. Now we see that Google and Microsoft has come up with technology wherein any generic images can be fed to their platform, and they come up with captions for these images. But currently there exists no such technology for complex technical images. And that's where we felt that we can use AI to make a difference. So thereby, that was the genesis of our Vision series of products. And one of them is called Chem Vision. So what is Chem Vision? Chem Vision is our image accessibility product for the field of chemistry, organic chemistry and inorganic chemistry. So what we have done is we have used AI to train our engine with lakhs of millions of organic chemistry images, and so that the engine started learning about the different features of these images. And then if we fed any image to it, it could auto-generate alternative text for organic chemistry and inorganic chemistry structures. And you will see a demonstration of that when Rajat shows you how this works. Our next product is Math Vision. Again, we have used AI to extract features out of math images. Now, these math images can be graphs, complex graphs having parabolas, lines, circles, ellipses, hyperbolas, or math equations. Again, we have leveraged deep learning and computer vision techniques to break down these complex structures to English language. Our third product in the Vision range of products is Table Vision. Again, Table Vision, if we feed any table image to Table Vision, it is able to break the images into navigable formats which are easily editable and fully accessible. Also, it creates alternate text. So it understands the structure of the table. It tries to figure out what are the headings, what are the subheadings, how many rows are there, how many columns are there, and it automatically generates alt text for these tables. Again, you will see a demonstration of this when Rajat shows you the Vision range of products. Now, in addition, while we have been working on these Vision range of products for chemistry, math, and table, we developed a lot of algorithms. Now we are now leveraging these algorithms to extend our reach of vision products to other disciplines like physics, computer science, and engineering. And we hope that this is an effort, this effort will level the playing field for visually impaired people who want to take courses in complex STEM subjects, and it's our small effort in that direction. The next product that I just want to give you a brief overview about, and that Siddharth is going to take you through, is called PREP. PREP is an acronym for PDF Remediation Platform. Again, all of you who have been using PDFs know that PDFs can get highly complex. And for a screen reader to accurately read a PDF, it must be tagged properly. And again, PREP is our effort to make this PDF remediation process simpler, faster, and cheaper. So again, we are leveraging AI to conduct an analysis of the PDF document and come up with a first cut of auto tagging the document. And then we have a human in the loop who goes through the tags and just checks if the tags are accurate, and if not, then makes the modifications as necessary. Again, what we have developed is a highly intuitive UI which makes the process very simple. So so tasks like tagging lists, tables, TOCs, which can take a lot of time in tools like Adobe, we have attempted to make this much more simpler, and I think we claim that we have reduced the processing time by at least 50%. And again, that's a demo that Siddharth is going to show you shortly. So in addition to our products, we also offer services. We offer complete in-house end-to-end services for PDF remediation and alt text generation for STEM disciplines. And alternatively, we also provide API integration that can seamlessly integrate with any infrastructure of your organization. So with our end-to-end services, our attempt is to make content accessible for all. We have been working with top universities and publishers in US on a variety of accessibility projects, and our products have been getting a lot of traction from these organizations, and we are very excited about our journey. So therein ends my presentation, and is there any question that you would like to ask? If not, I would hand it over to Rajat, who will take you through the vision range of products. Thanks. Okay, on to you, Rajat.
Yeah, thanks, Mosmi, and thanks everyone for joining us. And Mosmi already, just give a very good and a brief introduction of what the Vision suite of products are. And I'll take you through the demo of each one of them and help you understand our credibilities and how do we process them into alternative text so that one could understand what the image says. I'll share my screen. So I'll start with chemistry. So in chemistry, we have, as Mosmi said earlier, we have trained on millions of organic images, which there are Lewis structures, line structures. Then you have benzene structures and chemical equations with callouts. So I'll probably use these sort of images to show us how our APIs processes these. Yeah, so I'm using an tool that we call as in Invicta and CAV testing in our internal lingo when we operate in office, which helps you upload an image and alternative text gets generated using the APIs that we have exposed for the machine learned and AI enabled system using computer vision. So I'll start with the first image. This image is a benzene ring, okay, which has another element attached to it. I'll use a screen reader to read the image description out. Just 1 minute. I'll enable sound.
The figure illustrates the following structure: a 6-carbon ring in a horizontal orientation. A double bond is present between C1 and C2. C1 is single bonded to CH2N, H2. This N atom has one lone pair of electrons.
Yeah, so in this particular image, we identify what is the structure of the element. It says it is a six carbon ring in a horizontal orientation. Then there's also a double bond present. Then what are the elements that are attached to it, and where is the lone pair of electrons present in this particular given molecule. The next image, which is on my screen, is a carbon chain structure, which is a zigzag manner, and which has a double bond to it. I'll also read the description out with help of a reader.
The figure illustrates a formula with the following structure: a carbon chain of 5 carbon atoms represented in the form of a line structure by 4 zigzag lines: CH3, single bond, C, single bond, CH2. Single bond, CH2, single bond, CH3. The second carbon is double bonded to O.
So it explains that how the molecular structure looks like in the zigzag manner, and every element of those zigzag lines, what does it contain, and how it is bonded with the elements present inside that structure. The next image on my screen is a benzene ring, which has which is named as phenol, and it has some callouts that describes what it actually tries to say. I'll also read this out.
The figure illustrates the following structure: a benzene ring in a vertical orientation with the 3 alternating double bonds between C2 and C3, C4 and C5, and C6 and C1. C2 is single bonded to OH, C6 is single bonded to H. The molecule is labeled as a phenol. There is a callout states the O is bound to a carbon of a benzene ring, an aryl group.
Yeah, so it describes the molecule. It states what the molecule is saying, and also the call out that is trying to describe this molecule explicitly. The next image on my screen is a chemical reaction, which has 2 reactants and 1 product. So our API is very intelligently. I'm sorry, is someone trying to ask some questions or saying anything?
I request, Siddharth.
Okay, I believe there was some disturbance.
The other participants.
Yeah, Siddharth, can you mute everybody?
Yeah, I think I muted, but I think they're getting unmuted again. Okay.
Everybody is on mute.
Okay, so I'll start again. So
is this news?
This is from Samarthanam team. Vikas, if you can mute yourself.
I have muted my.
News mic.
Nune's mic. Mr.
Nune's mic is the person we are hearing from.
No, actually muted him 3 times, but still is getting unmuted. So automatically.
Yeah, you can start now, Rajat.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so the image on my screen now is a chemical reaction which has some reactants and a product. So our APIs also understand that the given image is just not an element or a molecule, but also it is a chemical reaction, and try to segregate what are the molecules, what are the reactants, and under which presence of what other element does the reaction happens. So I'll read this out for your better understanding.
The figure illustrates a chemical reaction containing 2 reactants and 1 product. The first reactant, a benzene ring in a vertical orientation with the 3 alternating double bonds between C1 and C2, C3 and C4, and C5 and C6. C1 is single bonded to CH3. C4 single bonded to NO2. The second reactant is HNO3. The reaction takes place in presence of H subscript 2. So subscript 4, the product, a benzene ring in a vertical orientation with the 3 alternating double bonds between C1 and C2, C3 and C4, and C5 and C6. C1 is single bonded to CH3. C2 is single bonded to NO2. C4 is single bonded to NO2. There is a callout states both the methyl and nitro substituents direct the incoming substituent to these positions.
Yeah, so in this particular readout, you heard that there are 2 chemical reactants and one product, and the reaction happens in the presence of this element, and there is a call out that describes the first element. So this was our Chem Vision APIs, in which we, apart from identifying every single molecule and what are the ingredients that build up the molecule, we also are able to identify whether the given image is a chemical reaction and what all reactants and products are present. So we have done quite a lot of thing over this organic chemistry and organic universe being very large. I try to compile the various structure and elements we can recognize and show this to you. So I'll then quickly move to Math Vision. So in Math Vision, we have tried to write from math equations that includes calculus and integrals and summations, all those trigonometries, all those accept of mathematical equations. We have also built a pretty robust system which tries to handle graphs in terms of bar graphs, line graphs, and parabolas, which are in image in nature, though the equations have some element of text to it, but these graphs, whether it be a line graph, parabola, or a bar graph, are total and image content, and understanding those are again challenging for the visually impaired folks. So yes, I have the outputs on my screen. So the first image that is on my screen is a bar graph, and I'll just again use the same reader to read it out what the bar graph says.
A vertical bar graph is drawn on a coordinate plane. The horizontal axis is labeled time period. There are 8 markings on the horizontal axis. They are 6A, 9A, 9A, 12P, 12P, 6P, 6P, 9P, 9P, 12A, 12A, 3A, and 3A, 6A. The vertical axis is labeled % of robberies. There are 5 markings on the vertical axis. They are 5, 10, 15, 20, and 25. There are 7 bars in the graph. For marking 6A, 9A, % of robberies is 4. For marking 9A, 12P, % of robberies is 6. For marking 12P, % of robberies is 23.61. For marking 6P, 9P, % of robberies is 18. For marking 9P, 12A, % of robberies is 18. For marking 12A, 3A, % of robberies is 17. For marking 3A, 6A, % of robberies is 13.
Yeah, so our APIs were able to understand how the graphs and the x-axis and the y-axis of the graphs graph is labeled as, and what are the distribution of the graph on the respective axis. Then how many bar elements are present on the axis, and what are those labeled as. And also with the help of this information, our APIs very intelligently understand until what is, so on a layman term, what is the height of this bar graph, what does this bar graph signifies, and to which point does it lie. So though that information is not given, but by understanding the image and being it very contextual, our API is trying to derive those information and make it explicit for our readers. The next image on my screen is a line graph. I'll use the reader to read out for us.
Excuse me.
A line is graphed on the XY coordinate plane. The x-axis ranges from -9.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, Rajat Yogesh this side. As you are demonstrating the output of the image, can you demonstrate the how to give input to your API? Because with the help of screen reader, I want to understand whether that process is also accessible and what is the process to give input. Is
Okay.
it possible?
So as of now, our images are exposed to an API. You know that particular API takes image as an input. So you know if the screen reader has that capability to call our APIs or integrate into their solution, it can easily take that image, call our APIs, and help the description to read out with that screen reader. I think Dr. Sriram or Dr. Kumar could, give you a better understanding on how these are feasible with screen readers and integration feasibilities over there. So we can take this at the end of the Chem Vision suite of demos. That would be fine.
No problem.
Okay, great. I'll come that to that when we have gone through all the STEM descriptions and demos that we have in line for up today.
Yeah, so we'll take in the questions after Rajat completes his demonstration. Then we'll take all the questions.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Marcy, for adding up that. So I'll continue with this, the line graph that is on my screen, and I'll again use the screen reader to read it out.
A line is graphed on the XY coordinate plane. The x-axis ranges from -9 to 5 with the increment of 1 unit. The y-axis ranges from -5 to 9 with the increment of 1 unit. The line enters the viewing window in the third quadrant, goes up and to the right, and exits the viewing window in the first quadrant. The line starts at -6, -1, and ends at 0, 7. The x-intercept of the line is at the point -5, 0. The line has a slope of 1.4. Equation of this line is y equals 1.4x plus 6.
Yeah, so I think there was some tuning at because there is a machine learned model, and we are constantly improving it. So there are some false positives that keep on happening. So this particular image describes how many labelings are there again on the x-axis and the y-axis. Where does the line start, and then again what are the coordinates of the starting point of the line and the ending point of the line. So this was a line graph. The next image on my screen is again a parabola, which has a totally different structure with respect to lines. And to understand a parabola with terms of implementation is little challenging than lines. Just to realize us how difficult it is to understand these things. I'll again read it out.
A parabola is graphed on the xy coordinate plane. The x-axis ranges from -6 to 5 with the increment of 1 unit. The y-axis ranges from -5 to 8 with the increment of 1 unit. The parabola opens upward and has its vertex in the third quadrant at the approximate point -2, -1. X-intercept of the parabola lies at the approximate point -3, 0, and -1, 0. Y-intercept of the parabola lies at the approximate point 0, 3. Equation of the parabola is given as y equals 1.0x squared plus 4.1x plus 3.6.
Yeah, so this is, how our APIs understand that though it is a given image, it first tries to understand whether the image is a bar graph or the image is a line graph or image is a parabola. So no input to our APIs was given with respect to, what sort of graph is. So it was just 3 different images which our APIs tried to understand. The first was a bar graph, second was a line graph, and third was a parabola. And then it described each one in respective of the format and how does that signify by extracting the information the graph tries to say. Similarly, for the previous image, the parabola, it says what are the vertex of the parabola, where does the parabola enters, what are the intersecting points on the graph plane with respect to the line of the parabola. So this was the math bar and graph. Then I'll move to table vision, which is
Hey Rajat, are we keeping the questions to end, or can I quickly ask something about these charts?
Yes, I think we can wrap this demo first, and then we can have the Q&A session.
Sure, not a problem. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. So the next in the line is table vision. So table vision is a flagship product of ours in which we try to extract data from tabular content images. So there are multiple sort of images that exist in the market which has tabular content. To be very specific and contextual about these things, the first is the accounting images, in which you have balance sheet, you have financial statement, you have T accounts, you have ledger. ledgers, you have spreadsheets, which are very contextual specific, and understanding every nuance of it is very important to get a proper explanation or proper accessible replica of it. And then there is a generic set in which, any data can be represented in a tabular structure, basically a row into column structure. So we have done a deeper research understanding how these tables are structured, and we have bucketed this universe into two things. Basically, first was the accounting, and second one is the generic non-accounting domain. So I'll quickly start with the demo for it. So the image, the screen basically is on my laptop, is the UI which we provide to the users to use Table Vision. This is a public interface. People can quickly sign up and try our APIs. If they are not, if API integration is not required, they can use this tool to generate accessible formats of alt text, HTML, and XLSX. So I'll start with the image. The image in that is on my screen is a non-accounting image. I'll start with the first flow. I'll upload a non-accounting image. So and so basically I'll select what is the input type of the image. In this particular Vision product, we need to give the input whether the image is accounting or non-accounting. So I have selected non-accounting as the type of the input image, and I select the required format in which I need the output. So I have selected alternative text, that is labeled as alt text. I have selected HTML, and I have selected XLSX, and then I'll click on the submit button. So the image, I'll give a brief description of the image that appears on the screen. So the image is a little complex, semi-structured tabular content, that I would say, because there are lines that that gives the columnar structure to the parent headers or the level 1 headers, but there are subheaders and columnar element to subheaders as well. Those does not have any line to demarcate themselves into different columns. But our APIs are very smart enough to understand that it has to use lines, and it has to use the content that resides in the table to make it into convert into a proper tabular understanding. So we give a HTML replica of it to understand how we have deduced the table in terms of rows and column and subheaders, headers to it. So again, to give a brief description of the image, there are 3 headers, and for the second and third headers, there are again subheaders, and then there are elements corresponding to it. I'll again read the alt text that we have generated for this image.
Statement 1. The table consists of 3 columns and 3 rows. The headings of the columns from left to right are as follows. Methods Cave and Harvard. Cave is subdivided into RMSE and SAM. Harvard is subdivided into RMSE and SAM. The row entries are as follows. First row, methods column, CSU. Cave RMSE column, 9.96. Cave SAM column, 15.63. Harvard RMSE column, 3.37. Harvard SAM column. Next row, methods column, BSR. Cave RMSE column, 5.29. Cave SAM column, 13.63. Harvard RMSE column, 2.61. Harvard SAM column, 4.46. Last row, methods column, USDN. Cave Harvard RMSE column, 1.78. Harvard SAM column, 4.05.
Yeah, so it describes the table, the number of rows and number of columns present in the table, then what are the headings in the table, and then what are the headings, those are subdivided into the table, and then it created a relationship that CSU and RMSE, the value is 9.96. Apart from giving this alternate description, we also provide XLSX as an output, and I'll download this particular XLSX. So I have this XLSX open, in my system. So it gives the exact replica of how the image tabular content is now transformed to an editable format into an XLSX, and which can be further either read or either edit or can be integrated to end applications or depending upon the usage. So I'll probably use a narrator to read out how the image tabular format in Excel reads like or looks like.
Mouse 20200 meeting controls window 2020091204210609716 underscore output Excel window sheet 1 D3 selected editable column 5 row 4 item 3 A1 selected editable column 2 row 2 item methods cell B1 non-selected editable column 3 row 2 item cave cell D1 non-selected editable column 5 row 2 item Harvard A2 non-selected, editable, column 2 row A2, selected, editable, column 2 row 3, item, cell. B2, selected, editable, column 3 row 3, item, RMSE. C2, selected, editable, column 4 row 3, item, SAM. D2, selected, editable, column 5 row 3, item, RMSE. E2, selected, editable, column 6 row 3, A3, non-select A3, selected, editable, column 2 row 4, item, CSU. B3, selected, editable, column 3 row 4, item, 9.96. C3, selected, editable, column 4 row 4, item, 15.63. D3, selected, editable, column 5 row 4, item, 3.37. E3, selected, editable, column 6 row 4, item, 5.35. Cell, A4, selected, editable, column 2 row 5, item, BSR. B4, selected, editable, column 3 row 5, item, 5.29. N20, task, narrator set, close, exiting narrator.
Yeah, so that was the, I used narrator to describe how the image that was, the tabular content that was in the image format, we converted that to the Excel format, we downloaded the Excel, and then we can use screen readers or narrator to understand what the image content says and how it is structured. So this was one from the non-accounting section, and then as I spoke earlier, there is another accounting section of the tabular images, which is more contextual in nature, and understanding nuances of it is really important to parse it correctly to the accessible format. So the image that I'm using now is a ledger, and which has lines to demarcate items and the debit and the credit things, and there are clear lines to demarcate what are the elements present inside the table. So the thing about ledger is that you can see under the debit and the credit debit and the credit column, there are, the last column contains 00. So now the 00 is something that the last column is something that defines as the decimal point, but the columns left to it defines as the units, the tens and the hundreds and the thousands. So understanding these small nuances is very vital when we are parsing these to the alternative format, so that whatever the image is trying to say is received correctly by the receiving end. So I'll again read out the alternative text that is getting generated for this ledger image.
Statement 1. This statement shows account repair expense on the left-hand side of the statement. Account No. 537 on the right-hand side of the statement. The statement consists of 6 columns and 3 rows. The headings of the columns from left to right are as follows: date, item, post. Ref, debit, credit, balance. The date column is subdivided into 2 columns. The balance column is subdivided into 2 columns, namely debit and credit. The entries are as follows: row 1, date, first column, 20, sept. Second column, 10, post. Ref J5, debit, 50.00. Balance debit column, 50.00. Row 2, date, second column, 15, post. Ref J5, debit. Balance debit column, 450.00. Row 3, date, second column, 25. Item, correcting, post. Ref 16, credit, 400.00. Balance debit column, 50.00.
Yeah, so again, it understood that there is a statement that comes on the top of the header on the left and the right side. The left says repair expense and the right says account number. And then there is a header section with date, item, post reference, debit, credit and balance. And then there are subheaders to balance, that is debit and credit. Then from the next row, the actual entries start. So in itself is a very complex thing to understand, given the information, the statement that is also inside the tabular content, then the headers, and here the header also contains the subheaders to it. So our APIs are very intelligent enough to understand these things, compile these things into a single resource, and give a proper alternative text and alternative formats of HTML and XLSX that is again accessible for the users to make good use of it. So these were the 3 Math Vision, Chem Vision, and Table Vision which we have exposed in the form of APIs. And as Mosmi was speaking earlier, we do have physics, engineering, and computer science images that we are working on. We have also made a good progress, and we are in line to make them as product and expose them as APIs. But currently we don't have them as APIs, but we do have the description. Those were generated by the machine directly. And I'll take another few minutes of our time to go through one sample of each, so that we also say how are we doing in rest of the STEM universe. So the image that is on my screen is the image of the pulley, and I'll basically again read out to make a better understanding what the image is trying to say.
The two ends of the rope are tied to a block respectively, and the rope passes over the pulley. The left end of the rope is tied to a block labeled 2.2 kg. The right end of the rope is tied to a block labeled 4.2 kg, block labeled 2.2 kg, and block labeled 4.2 kg appear to be at the same horizontal level.
Yeah, so it understands all the nuances that a pulley can have, and it describes every element to it. So basically, a pulley can have blocks or weights on both sides of it, and it also tries to define the relative position of both the blocks. That here it says it is on the same horizontal line, both the blocks 2.2 kg and 4.2 kg. I'll move to the next image. That is the engineering image, and the image that is on my screen is of a circuit diagram or block diagram in layman terms, which represents a controller and a process. And I'll again use screen reader to give a better description of it.
The block diagram begins with input as RS. An arrow from input RS points to the first summing point and has a plus sign. An arrow from the first summing point points to output controller K. An arrow from input controller K points to a block labeled process start fraction 1 over S end fraction. An arrow from a block labeled process start fraction 1 over S end fraction points to output Y S. An arrow from a block labeled process start fraction 1 over S end fraction points to the first summing point and has a minus sign.
Yeah, so this image describes how the circuit looks like, and so this element contains arrows, they contains block element, they contain positive and negative charge, and also they contain mathematical equations. So this engineering diagram uses our other APIs of arrow identification and Math Vision to give to summarize and encapsulate the description what is the engineering diagram trying to say. So it says that the arrow starts from the left, goes to the controller, then controller has a math equation that says start fraction K over S plus P end fraction. Then it goes to process, and then there's arrow from process back to the negative charge at the starting point. So it describes the entire picture so that the user, every vivid, every nuance thing is taken care of. I want to summarize that. So next I'll take a browser image in computer science. So the image on the screen is a very simple browser which has the title tab, which again has the body. Inside the body or the main screen, there is a header, and there are two paragraphs. I'll use screen reader to give an explicit description of it.
A browser window titled block quote example is shown. There are minimize, maximize, and close buttons on the top right of the browser. The window consists of one level 1 heading at indentation level 0, one paragraph at indentation level 0, one paragraph at indentation level 1. The level 1 heading is the power of the web. The paragraph at indentation level 0 reads according to Tim Berners-Lee, the inventor of the World Wide Web, https://www.w3.org/press/epo-announce:. The paragraph at indentation level 1 reads the power of the web is in its universality. Access by everyone regardless of disability is an essential aspect.
Yeah, so this was the content of the browser image that is on my screen. It basically first give a brief overview what are the contents of the browser and how it is placed, and so if there are multiple headers, it's say headers are at what level of heading level 1, heading level 2, or or heading level 3, and then how is it is placed. It is placed at indentation level 0, or it is placed at indentation level 1 or 2, and so on. So basically try to summarize the entire browser and also how it is placed inside that browser. Yeah, so those were the Vision suite of products, and each a very small and simple one to help you understand how we are progressing and optimizing on these front. Mosby, would you like to add anything before we move on to Q&A?
No, I think covered it all. So yeah, so if you have any questions, we are we'll take it right now, and then we will move on to our demo of prep.
Hey, hi, Masumi and Rajat. This is Srinivasu. Masumi, I believe you may have remembered me. We met in Leela Palace few months ago.
Yes, I do remember you, Srinivasu.
How are you doing? All right.
I'm doing.
Yeah, so I have been seeing some of your products, especially the table vision is something I enjoyed quite a lot. Thanks to Dr. Kumar and Dr. Sriram, who actually keep sending me the information about it. You guys now seeing the demos of all these products, it's definitely innovative, very innovative and much needed. Rajat, I see you have actually, you're using a reader to read the alt text and all, but I'm assuming the charts and all can be read by the any screen reader that users use, right? And also there's a flexibility to read line by line or whatever, because when if there are complex charts produced, then it may be difficult to understand the whole content at one go. So I'm assuming that people would be able to read with their screen readers themselves with the flexibility. And second thing is about the PDF remediation thing is quite interesting, as Pramod described it. My question about that is there a plans that this can actually be integrated with any product which actually produce a PDF on the go, like if there is a web-based product which actually generates a PDF on click of a report button, generate report or something, because there are a lot of instances which we would need that kind of service, where if a university student click on a button to download his progress report in a PDF, okay, can we be able to make that accessible with this AI system? I know it may not be on your agenda right now, but can you visualize if such a thing can happen in the future?
Yeah, Mosi, please go ahead.
Yeah, definitely, Srinivas. Yeah, we're definitely looking into that, and that's a part of our product map. And I think after when you see what Siddharth shows, then maybe it will be more clearer to you. And I think it's not very far from where we are right now to get to the stage that you're talking about. So that's about PDF remediation platform. Now, the other question that you spoke about complex charts, the point here is the alt text that we showed you is for demo purposes, and it is to demonstrate that we have been able to extract all the relevant features of the chart. Now, this information can be presented in a various different ways. We can present it as a list. We can present it as an HTML table as well. Which would be much more better navigable.
Yes.
So, yeah, all those can be done. The key point here is that we have developed algorithms that can extract features from the images. Now, the next part of it is the post-processing of these features. Now, that can be done either as an Excel, either as a alt text, or in other formats like HTML and HTML table or list, like the way that we have done for tables. The same thing can be done for bar graphs, flow charts, pie charts, and other images.
Perfect.
Okay.
Mosumi, can I just add on to it? Mosumi? Yeah. Yeah. Srinivasu, just to add on to it, the moment it is this complex chart or whatever it is, the moment an alt text is coming, that alt text is given in the word form or text form. So it is, and so once it is coming to anybody using either NVIDIA or any screen software, he can navigate it either word by word, letter by letter, line by line, paragraph by paragraph. That is at his own thing, because it is coming and coming as a text format.
Fabulous.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Okay, any more questions, and then we'll move to prep.
Yeah, I have a question, Yogesh, this side. This is regarding the accessibility of images on the web, like Captcha images. Is there any plan to solve that problem? Because as a visually impaired, we face difficulties in solving Captchas while on the web. So is there any plan to look into that?
Go ahead.
Yeah, so our focus is currently STEM, and so problem with Captcha is that they are imaged specifically to stop the robots and the bots to read those images. so that's basically to identify where a human is working on the system or not. So I'm really not sure on that, but yeah, Mosby, if you would like to add something to it.
Yeah, hi Yogesh. That's a very good point that you bring up, and I understand the difficulty that you might be facing. And unfortunately, right now our focus has been STEM images. But if and when we move to more generic images, maybe we can develop a solution which can help help you in that regards. Currently, we are not focusing on those kind of images, but going forward, maybe that can be something we can take up. So.
Okay, thank you.
So this is Sunil here. So I have also a question. Right now, I think someone also asked it before as well. So right now, you showed us all this demo through a TTS reading, whatever the session that you have provided. My question is around, can I, as a user, go and test your API and maybe see
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, Mosby, I can hear you.
Oh.
I think he logged out. I think it is connected.
Okay.
Yeah, I have another question, Yogesh, this side, sorry. If someone if any user wants to use your APIs, what is the process and is there any cost involved in that and how to use them?
So yes, hi Yogesh. For Table Vision, we have tablevision.ai as our website, which gives you an option to sign up and log in, and you basically have to just do a sign up, and then you will be directed to a this particular dashboard is basically you see how many requests you have made and all those stuff. So basically you need to select a plan. So for now we are giving user a free trial of 100 requests, that is 20 alt text, 40 HTML and 40 XLSX requests. Then depending upon their usage, user could get to the professional enterprise plan and start using our APIs. So this is how the user registers us to our platform, tablevision.ai, and then either what they could do is they can use our APIs to integrate it if they have bulk of documents, or we do have an and get the descriptions out. So this is for table vision, and soon we'll roll it for the next suite of vision products. I believe that answers your question.
Yeah, thanks.
Bangalore, Samarthanam. So, and using table vision, I just converted.
Excuse me, this is Naveen here.
The text. Am I audible? Yeah, Kiran. Yeah. Using table vision, I try to extract the text actually, and the image got broken last time. Also, I made regarding this. So yes, I just wanted to tell me, sir. Yeah. So I remember it. So the thing is that so there are images, something like this, which has a tabular content, and then there are some outliers and some paragraph to it. So we have trained our APIs to just process the tabular content, excluding the paragraph or the outliers text that those are present. But our APIs works best when we just crop the tabular content out of it and send the request for. And then there are certain other parameters with respect to resolution and the size of the image that we are processing to. And so I understand your questions. I do have looked to your image, but if you try just cropping the image that is very close to the tabular boundary, it performs best. Yeah, and I'm really happy that you have showed a lot of products regarding this, and it's innovative ideas that you took. I thank Continual Engine for bringing new products to the technology for visually impaired. Thanks, Kiran. Thanks for trying us out, and I hope you will keep us testing and trying more features. And I want you to share some images so that I can try it out using that table.ai vision. What is it? whatever it may be. Definitely. Tablevision.ai, I'll definitely forward you over an email.
I tried actually like in one month before, and also I made you back, I guess.
Yes.
Thanks a lot, sir.
Rajat,
thank you.
Quick question here. Vikas here.
Hey, Vikas.
Yeah. I'm not used to other technology as such, but OCR engine is one which I am familiar with. Some time ago, because we were part of business excellence in my previous organization, right? So is there an accuracy level associated with the products? Like what is the accuracy level? Like OCR has a accuracy level set based on handwritten or the printed text, right? So accordingly.
Yeah, so currently we have tested with different sort of tabular content images and different structures in terms of structured, unstructured lines and how the table content in itself is structured. So on that we are performing 85 plus percentage. But if you would ask for an image, if we give an accuracy score, so we do have a confidence score depending upon how we are able to deduce the information and the features from that particular image and how we are able to structure it. Currently, we don't show them in our UI, but yes, we are in plan to get the confidence score with respect to alt text or conversion that we are doing with the image.
Okay, it depends. So it depends on the quality of the image.
Yeah, definitely, it depends upon the quality of the image. So
if it's partially handwritten along with the printed this thing, how does the accuracy?
So currently we are just doing for, we have just released it for printed documents. We are still doing, R&D on handwritten documents and on different vernacular content. Probably those in our pipeline. So when, we have those up and we have made some good progress, we'll definitely, speak about it.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Vikas.
Sir, Kiran here once again this side from Samarthanam, Bangalore. Actually, like, how about, could you make it accessible images like regional languages like Kannada and other languages?
Yeah, Kiran, that's a good question, and we keep them receiving. So it's in our pipeline, especially for Dravidian languages and all those in Devanagari. We have those in our pipeline. We'll soon releasing this particular tool for printed Indian languages, and we'll make it public.
Yeah, because when we I have seen one more ACR like OCR software, which is presently I just explored and it's quite accessible. And also I want you all make its success at 100% accuracy using other regional Indian regional languages.
Yeah, definitely.
If you could try it, it will be more helpful to our visually impaired people.
Yes.
Sure.
So this is something, this is a feature that we get constantly requests for, and it's definitely very high on our priority list. And you will be very soon seeing a release with support for vernacular languages.
Eagerly waiting, madam, for good results from you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, this is Naveen here. I am an English trainer in Samarthanam Bangalore Center. See, recently, when I was training my students, I joined Samarthanam very recently, and when I met these VI students, they were quite curious to learn many things. But I thought, like, how can I help them in some using technology? So recently, I searched for one app called Sullivan. It's an Android-based app, and that app, it uses the camera, and it recognizes if the person points out the camera towards some object or some text in the book or some table in the book. It will just use the AI and it will read that image and it will convert it into voice message and it will read out that message. So I found that quite interesting, because here the input is the camera of the mobile. I'm not uploading any image, I'm not uploading any PDF document. I'm just using camera as an alternative eye for the VI person. So how can your software, like I think this is a web-based version, not Android version. So how can you people created very high-end work. This is like completely towards it, professional courses, content regarding the professional courses. But how can we as student read some common things using these technology which you are developed?
Yes, hi Naveen. This is a very good question that you've asked, and this is again there in our product pipeline. So now that we have the APIs, we need to create an app, and so the input to this app will be the image that the camera takes, and then the output would be the voice. So we do have all the building blocks for this app. We have to build it, and it's there again in our product roadmap. And again, maybe sometime in the near future, you will definitely be seeing Continual Engine release an app which can read complex STEM image and which can ingest complex STEM image from the camera and read out the description aloud. So definitely, yeah.
Thank you.
I think then we can move to prep.
Yep. Any other questions? Yeah. Thank you all. This has been a really very interactive session, and thanks for all the questions. With this, I hand it over to Siddharth, who's a product owner for Prep, and yeah, so Siddharth, please take over.
Thanks, everyone. So today I'll cover PDF remediation product Prep. The workflow for today's demo would be first I'll take you through Prep a little bit on the tool, how it works. Then we'll remediate as a very simple PDF and then export it to Adobe and then test it using shared screen reader like JAWS. So I'll cover all of that today. If you have any questions, you can ask me between or after the demo. So to start with, this is the PDF remediation platform, Prep. It's a cloud-based document remediation solution which can be accessed from any browser. So once every user gets a unique username password through which they can log in. So once they've logged in inside the platform, they get taken to a dashboard which covers the total PDF files, summarizes this information in form of the category of the files, namely first the new files which have been recently uploaded, in progress files which are under remediation, and then the completed files which have been finished and exported from the tool. After that, we get a list of PDF files. It's a card view where I can actually look at all the files that have been uploaded. Also, it kind of gives a summary about information about the file status, when was the file last modified, and the user who is remediating these documents can pick a file from this and start remediating. So for the demo purpose, I've already picked a file and I'll take you through the remediation for that. So let me click on it. So this is a sample PDF document which we have taken for remediation. This PDF documents contain some headings, simple list, a simple table, a nested list. So what I'll do today is I'll take you through how it gets remediated using Prep. So these items typically get remediated using tool like Adobe, which is very time consuming and not very effective in nature. So what we'll do is how we can save time and remediate this document very fast and at a good, save time. So I'll start with the demo here. So first I'll take you through the different controls in the tool. Let's give you an overview of the features that the tool has, and then I'll take you to the remediation. So first thing, I'll put the thing into full screen mode. So after that, you can see we have this file here that we uploaded. We can always have access to the same in the left corner. Then after that, we have this button, which is the meta tag, which allows you to update the meta attributes of the document, which includes things like language, document title. So I can put that here. And after that, you can have other attributes like keywords, author, and subject updated here. So these are mandated by PDF UA, but VCAG standards from US, they don't allow you to, they ask you only to have document title and language as compulsory fields. So this property language is important for that the screen reader knows what the document language is and it automatically tunes according to that. So once the meta information is updated, we move on to other attributes. So here you can always have access to the number of pages a PDF has, which is highlighted in the top left. Here you can have access to that. After that, there are zoom controls. So the person who is remediating the document, if they want to zoom in, zoom out to go into detail of a particular tag where there are very small tags like links, references, and all that. So they can zoom in and zoom out and do remediation. So the entire tool, because it's very visual in nature, so if you're not able to understand, if you have any questions, you can ask me in between. I can add more information on that. After the zoom controls are over, then there are, one second. Yeah, then the zoom controls are over. Then we have this hide text and hide order from the canvas. So in the center of the page, we have the document with another layer on top, which kind of tells you what tag it is and what is the reading order for the same. Typically, when you remediate a document, the information that we add to the document is a tag type for every text content, image content, and the reading order for the same. If it is a list or a table, we add more attributes like list tag and a table tag to the same. So by default, we highlight the initial tag type and a reading order. If I want to hide or show that, you can do that using these controls. After that, let's look at some other features here. So we have a screen reader preview feature. So what that does is the person who is remediating this document, and typically when while remediating, they don't have access to a screen reader because they have to export the document and then test using a screen reader. So what we have done is we have actually come up with a way for them to visually verify this before testing a screen reader. So this is kind of not an like say alternate to screen reader testing, but while remediation itself, we have provided a medium to test how does the document will fare with a screen reader. So that's a screen reader preview. I'll take you through that after we have remediated this page. And then we have an accessibility checker built in here, which once we remediate, we'll run that again and show what kind of errors we are getting and how we can fix that using our accessibility checker itself. Then this is the export. So once the document is remediated, you can export this PDF. Then move on to the right pane. We have a reload button, which will reload the last saved changes. We have a very great sensitivity feature. So a lot of documents, PDF documents that we encounter typically work well with the default sensitivity, but some document where a lot of complex content is in place or the text is tied too close together, we might want to change the sensitivity. So the sensitivity feature kind of tunes the sensitivity of the tag detection so that if the tags are too close by, they can be separated, and if they are too close by, they can be expanded. So I'll give an example here. Say, look at this paragraph tag where we have 4 list items and they are all grouped together right now. So if I click on sensitivity here, what it will do is it will automatically take this item separately. Currently, we are not using that. We'll use a different feature to remediate this list. So that kind of covers the major features apart from the list and table split. The list and table split feature I'll demo while we are remediating this document. Now we can start remediating this document. To just start, give you an overview of the UI of the platform. In the center, we have a canvas which has the PDF page as the background, and an overlaying on top, we have the tag information, which is like paragraph and the reading order along with that. In the left side, we have a tree pane, which have the sequence of the content in the tree. This includes all the tags, including paragraphs, images. And once we start remediating, all this content will also be available in the tree pane as well as on the canvas. Now let's start remediating this. So the first thing that we put here is the headings. Headings are important for navigation in a PDF document. So let's fix the headings here. So I'll select this tag and change the tag type from the top pane to a heading 1. Similarly, I can change different tag types like this to heading 2. So what I've done is I've selected multiple tags and changed the tag type from the drop down at the top. So for now, I just change the tag type. You can do for a single tag, and if you want to select multiple tags, you can shift select and select multiple tags and change the tag types. So simply you can see we have changed the tag types for a lot of tags together. So now we move on to the tree pane and reading order. So this image, which is supposed to be read after image paragraph 5, is currently at the 20th position. And if I want to move it up, I can select this image and move it after paragraph 5 in the tree pane. If I do that, automatically the reading order for the image changes, and it is now in after the paragraph 5. To make an image accessible, we need to add alt text. That I'll show how to add that later. Now let's look at some other feature here. So the first feature that I want to cover, which is again we're using AI to achieve this thing, is to detect list content, because list requires navigability, and it's important to not just tag them as paragraphs, but to tag them as proper list and bullet content separately. I'll click on the list split button in the right pane and select the tag where there is a list and click a bulleted list split. So what this will do is it will identify the bullets as well as the content, which is the list body, and create a list tag in the tree pane automatically. So in one click, we are able to detect the entire list tag, and I can show that if you want, you can zoom in and see it more clearly. So here you can, in the left tree pane, the entire list tag is created, which is required for JAWS to be able to read this list properly. So this is a very simple list. Now let's look at a more complex list. This is a 3-level nested list where there are 3 levels of nested content inside it. Our software works even well with this kind of a list. I'll click on bulleted list split here again, and by selecting the list, and you can see it detected the list also properly. It created the 3-level nested list tag in the tree pane, and you can navigate further and access the entire content together. Now let's look at the next feature, which is a table split. This again, I think as Ajat showed, we are using Table Vision to demo this feature. So what earlier used to happen is we had to manually draw these tags or split these tags and unite them. Now with one click, we're able to remediate this kind of tables. So I'll select the table detect feature in the right pane and click on detect table. So what this will do is it will detect all the table cell blocks. Through font analysis, we are also able to detect the heading cells and automatically group them together into table rows and different rows together. And as you can here see, we have access to all the rows in the left tree pane, and it has automatically been tagged as a table. Also, we create the association with the header IDs if required. Otherwise, we just create the header cells, and the screen reader should be able to read this perfectly. So this kind of covers a lot of stuff on this document in pertaining to list split, table split. Now let's go ahead and select this image and add alt text to this. So through adding alt text, we select the image, select the alt text box, and enter the alt text. Once we enter the alt text, we can save it, and you can see we have finished the remediation on this document. Any questions so far on the remediation process? After this, I'll move on to the reading part using JAWS.
This is definitely a good effort.
We have a question from Victor sir here.
Yeah.
Sure.
What about the scanned PDF documents? Do you also remediate them?
Yes. So the scanned PDF document currently it's under progress. I mean, we have already have one alpha version ready for it. So what we currently do is we OCR the scanned PDF, and then it follows through the same process. We have to draw the tags and do all the steps here. And in the final exported version, the OCR text will be read by the screen reader and not the scanned content.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So I've made it available for export. I'll click on it again and export this document. One second, let me share my screen. Let me turn on JAWS also, so you can. Yeah. Can you hear my JAWS running?
Yes.
Okay. So I'll start reading the document, and you can.
Control Shift 5 Enter. Prep takes PDF remediation to the next level. Heading level 2.
So I'll start from scratch.
PDF takes prep remediate and prep PDF.
So I'll start
Context
from
menu
the
to
home.
navigate. Press up or down arrow. Top of file. Add stick. Leaving menus. Prep dash demo document underline ahead underline final underline tagged underline 2.pdf. Prep and dash PDF remediation platform heading level 1. Prep takes PDF remediation to the next level heading level 2.
So these are the headings we remediated. I'll skip this content. This is the next paragraph.
Sample document to dem heading level 2 accessibility checker.
Again the heading.
Every step of the process has
So
been
paragraph.
display graphic 4-step process for effortless PDF remediation.
So this was the graphic we tagged. We put the alt text as braille display, and that is being read by the screen reader.
List of 4 items.
Now it says it's a list
Bullet
of 4
upload.
items. So bullet upload.
Bullet auto dash detected. Bullet review the bullet PDF is generated.
So this was a simple list that got tagged. Now we'll move on to the next.
List end. Heading level 2 simple table.
So now I'll move on to the table. This is a simple table.
Table with 3 columns and 3 rows.
So I can choose to read it automatically, or I can use Control Alt keys to navigate
column,
this
reason,
table.
Column 1. Item column 2.
So this I'm using my Control Alt keys to
Units,
navigate this
column
table.
3. 50 row 2. Item pencil column 2. Region East column 1. Central row 3. Item binder column 2. Units 70 column 3.
So this is a very simple table with 3 columns and 3 rows. We've read that. Now I'll move on to the next.
Table end. Heading level 2 nested list.
So now there's a nested list here which will be read by the screen reader.
List of 3 items.
So there's a list of 3 items.
Bullet upload. Bullet auto dash detected. Bullet review the content list of 3 items nesting level 1. Bullet review the content. Bullet check for errors. Bullet fix the errors list of 2 items nesting level 2. Bullet preview the bullet export the document. List end nesting level 2. List end nesting level 1.
So you can see the nested list content was also read by the screen reader here. So that kind of covers what I had to on the PDF remediation side. Any questions you have? You can ask me. Thank you.
Menu meeting controls to move.
Hello, Siddharth.
Hello. Yes.
Yeah, so Siddharth, Akash here. So I have a query. So
sure.
I just noticed that you're using Acrobat Pro.
Yes.
Okay, and many of these features are already available in the Acrobat Pro. So have you built any add-on on top of that, or what you're doing?
No. So Adobe DC we're only using for reading this document, nothing else.
No, this left tag navigation and all those kind of things.
So that is just for showcasing the tags tree. But if you are using the free version, which is Adobe Reader, you just don't have access to the tag tree. Apart from that, the screen reader has already the information to read the document. So this is just to showcase what we are reading side by side.
Okay,
Yeah, so,
and yeah,
Akash, so so our tool is basically an alternate to Adobe Acrobat Pro. So basically, yes, Adobe can do all the tagging, but what we are claiming is that the same document will take much lesser time on our platform to be remediated.
So Mausami, to understand better, so does it like it does a lot of things automatically, like I do understand for to provide alternate text for image, we need to provide the alternate text manually. But something like to tag the lists, when there's a huge list, we don't need to select each list item, but instead we can select the entire list and tag it at one go. And same is applies for table kind of things, right? It actually saves some of the time.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And also, can we also detect, like, if there are 20 headings on the page? Okay, can we be able to do something that we can actually select all headings together and tag them at one go with different levels, appropriate levels?
Yes, so that's a feature that we are working on. Currently, we can definitely select all the tags together and change the tags. But if we make one change and then want to propagate it throughout the entire document, that's a feature that we are, it's in our roadmap, and we'll be releasing it maybe in 1 or 2 next releases.
All right, I don't have any more questions, but I just congratulate all of you, and I hope you get a good response from the community and the universities and schools, and get a good game, and people understand the good business sense of it and help you out and support your effort.
Thanks, Srinivasu. So actually, just to give an information to all the participants here. So our tool, our product here is being used by some of the top universities in US, and in fact, it's going to be piloted in Harvard this week. This product is showing a lot of traction, and people are very impressed with how much time and cost they are saving.
Hi, Vikas here. Mausami, quick question. Hello?
Yes, Vikas. Yes,
Am I
Vikas.
audible? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So I just wanted to just now you mentioned about the time saving aspect of the tools, right? So what is the like reduction in the per transaction or per this thing time you are looking into these tools?
Yeah. So Siddharth, do you want to answer that?
Yeah. So typically the time savings vary from the level of complexity of the document. Like if it's a very simple document and say I mean, it doesn't take much time to do otherwise. So then the time savings are say around 30 to 40%. But say if it's a very complex document, including a lot of lists and tables, so you can see we are able to do this nested list that I demonstrated today in one click and say in few seconds. The same process would take maybe around 5 to 10 minutes to do in Adobe. So you can see the more complex the document, the time savings will increase with that. So and on a textbook level, for example, the time savings could range between say maybe even 50 to 60% and go further. I mean, with more complex the document, the more time savings we can get.
Yeah, because as you guys know, CTQ is the most important aspect in any distinct transaction: cost, time, and quality. Right. So that's where I come from the question.
Yes.
And absolutely amazing, amazing stuff. I mean, congratulations to Continual Engine and team, Maushmi, Siddharth. So it's a very good product. I felt. I mean, this session has increased my awareness and knowledge about how these tools we rather, when I was there previously, as we rather would call this as some kind of OCR and all as part of RPA, right? So process automations, yeah. Amazing tools and amazing information shared. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Vikas, for the encouraging words. Any other question from the audience?
Yeah, Masmi, Akash again here. So is it available for us to try out in the prep index?
So we are right now going to organizations and giving them to it on a trial basis, not to individuals yet.
Okay.
So do you want to try it on an individual basis, or are you a part of an organization and they would like to try it? If so, then we can definitely work out something where they can have a trial for a few days, and then we can work out the licensing.
I was on an individual basis. I was asking on an individual basis.
Okay, we can take this offline, and we can see what we can do for you.
Sure.
So if you could connect with Deepika, or maybe Deepika can connect with you. Deepika. Yeah.
Hey, Mausami, one quick question, because I'm a person who actually propagate things as and we learn something. So when it comes to the pricing model, do you also have an Indian pricing, or is it the universal pricing for everyone? I do understand the pricing is definitely simple. So are we just converting that into Indian rupees, or do you have a different set of pricing? Because at the end, I also want our Indian educational institutes to benefit out of these tools and start using it, and they should invest in it rather. Yeah.
Yes, so our prices are very competitive, and we have the same price for both US and India. So, but they're very competitive, and they are whatever it would cost you to get one Adobe license would be the same to get one prep license. That
Sure.
is only
We'll talk more offline on this. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so that's for educational institutions and for institutions supporting visually impaired people. But for professional organizations and professional companies, we have a commercial license agreement, and that is higher.
Yeah, fair. No, I think it completely makes sense. We should actually not just some organization who support the visually impaired or something. It should be like organization should make the document accessible by default. Let's say, for example, of banking, right? They wouldn't know who are their customers with vision impairment, right?
Right.
Everybody should use, but the tool is really good. All the best to you guys. I'll be in touch.
Thanks, Srinivasu, and do let us know if you have any organization or anybody in mind, and then we can see how we can help them out.
Absolutely.
Yeah, hello sir, Kiran here once again from Samarthanam. This tool is quite interesting, and does it do it in a quickly, like if it is more than 200 or 500 pages? So does it make it very quickly, or how it takes, like how many minutes it takes to extract it in PDF?
Yeah, so that again, do you want to take this up?
Yeah. So currently we handle bigger textbooks, even like 750 page textbooks. So the time, again, like I explained, depends on the complexity of the document. So the initial time to process is less than 2 to 3 minutes. But after the initial processing has happened, then it's up to the user whenever they are fixing and the speed and the expertise of the user. But on a generic level, we have seen savings between even around 60% savings on some documents. And the savings again depends on the complexity of the document. So we have done some textbooks which had similar amount of lists, tables, and links, and we were able to get good time savings in that. So,
I would just add and say that it's not more about the time consumption, but quality of what it does is matters, because of course while time matters, but quality is equally important. So we need to be mindful of that.
Absolutely. And especially for tagging, right? If the quality is not good, it's not accurate, then it defeats the entire
Exactly.
As it is, PDF documents are complex by nature.
Right. And that's the aim, that's the aim of this platform. The aim of this platform is to make the tagging process accurate, but also fast and thereby cheap. So that is the aim of this platform and this product. That's the reason why we wanted to build this.
I think I actually made that point even earlier. I would like to reiterate. I think all three factors, that is CTQ, cost, time, and quality, are important. So yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for answering my query, sir. Yeah.
Yeah, so my another question is, using prep, I can only export PDF, or are there any other format which I can extract it?
Currently, it's a PDF remediation solution, so we are
Mhm.
only allowing to export as PDFs. But while importing, we even support PowerPoint and doc files, which can be
Okay.
converted automatically internally as PDF and finally be exported as remediated PDFs.
Okay, thank you.
For this particular product, in the future, what we would like to do is export it in different formats as well. Export it as a HTML, export it as an EPUB, export it as a doc file. So that's again there in our roadmap. Hello.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Any other questions?
So did you go to the US recently, or did you stuck in the US?
No, yeah, I just went here. I came here recently. My son is starting his undergraduate education, so I've come to drop him off. I'll be back soon, hopefully.
Right.
Rajat sir, your products are so innovative. I'm really happy, and I'm really excited to look forward to learn all those things. So,
Yeah, thanks, Kiran.
Pretty happy. Thanks
I-
for Continual Engine, Deepika ma'am, and everyone. I'm really happy.
Yeah, thank you, everybody. I think you've been an amazing audience, and thanks for all the supporting and encouraging words. It means a lot to us in this journey, and what we want to do is, build world-class products, which will help the community, so that's the aim. Use technology for good, and again, you have Deepika's contact, and you have, I think, our contact also. So please feel free to contact us anytime if you have any questions, and we'll do the best to help you or your organization out.
I wish you all the very best, for continual engine for any innovative products. Yeah. So, thank you.
Okay, thank you, everybody. And I would like to say, give special thanks to Dr. Sriram, whose idea was this to come up with a joint webinar with Samarthanam. So thank you, Dr. Sriram, for bringing this all together. And I would like to hand over the closing to you, and if you would like to say a few words.
Yeah. Can all of you hear me?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
we can.
Yeah, I think it was
Could
a
you
team.
close up?
It is a team effort that we made it here today. And today is just not just an event, it's a journey. We would like all of you to become users of this product, and we become kind of a user community where we keep improving these products based on the customer requirement. So we would look at your relationship as a journey, and we would like you to continue to be in touch with all of us. And special thanks to Samarthanam for hosting this event and presenting this event to the community. We hope to have many more such events in many more different geographies also. And special thanks to Vikas and Mahantesh and Mr. Victor for speaking today. And finally, also the presenters from Continual Engine, Mausami, Rajat, and Siddhartha, as well as Dr. Kumar and Deepika for the organization of the event. And finally, every event is as good as its user interaction. I think the users were very interactive, and they were very knowledgeable and gave us a lot of insights into the product development journey for us. We would like you to continue to start using these products and take these products to the next level. With this, I'll say thank you. And if any other final questions are there, we'll take it up. Thank you.
Thank you, Sridhar sir.
I just want to make a comment, if I may.
Yes, please.
Okay. Well, I am from the West Indies, in case we had some latecomers. Trinidad and Tobago, to be precise, as we say in cricketing teams, Triangular cricket country. I think that I want to congratulate both Samarthanam and the Continuing Engineer for the initiative, because it is a very eye-opening experience. Here in the Caribbean, we are challenged by not having all of the wherewithal to do what we have to do in terms of technology. Even the cost of technology is very high for many of our Caribbean people. And I'm hoping that, sooner or later we can establish a more direct relationship to see how your company can help us to acquire some of these technologies at minimal or no cost, so that we can share it with our blind brothers and sisters, not just here in Trinidad and Tobago, but throughout the region. All right? And it was a pleasure listening in.
Yes, thanks for making it in such a late in the night for you. And it's really thankful that you made it in such a late in the night. Yeah, any more comments, please?
Dr. Sriram, team, Vikas here. Sir.
Yeah, Vikas.
So I would like to congratulate the whole team of Continual Engine, which includes everyone who presented, Ms. Mausami, Rajat, Siddharth, and the whole team, Deepika, you, Kumar sir, the whole team, all the best. There was, it is also being presented in Harvard. I heard that. All the best for that presentation. It's a esteemed institution, and presenting there itself is a high value thing. So congratulations, and it was an amazing session. And I would like to thank on behalf of Victor sir as well. He's there. Sir, if you want to say something.
Once again, thank you to you all, and today's presentation enhanced the level of knowledge about the new products of assistive technology. Once again, thank you very much.
Yeah, so thank you from Samarthanam side, and it's been a pleasure to be part of this webinar or the online session, and it was very knowledgeable and very informative. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. With this, we could conclude the webinar.
Yes. Yes.
Thanks to all the participants. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Thank you. And Deepika, if you could share this recording as well with.
Yes, I will do.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, everyone.